Hey everyone, it's Gamer Bullshit. This is Jacob, and with me is Austin. And how you doing, buddy? It's been a long time since we did a bit of a podcast.
Yeah, man, it's been what, 2 weeks since we did the podcast. We did a live stream last week, so for everyone who listened to our audio deliciousness, sorry about that. But we wanted to try something new for our special 10th episode, so that's what happened.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't abandon us.
Yeah, I hope not. Please don't fall off the map. We need your listens.
Well, we don't really need your listens. We want your listens.
No, I need them. They're sustenance.
It's life.
It's life to me. I need it. I
mean,
mean,
in Spy Kids 3, where it's Spy Kids 3. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but Sylvester Stallone, he's the bad guy, and like he's like got a whole bunch of multiple cells.
Whoa! Back up. You're telling me that Stallone was in a Spy Kids movie?
Yes, he was the toy maker. I
just lost respect for him.
But it's funny because he's like the toy maker. He's like over the movie, or like he's over the video game, and he talks to different parts of his consciousness. They're like all different, like they're all kind of ridiculous. And they're like, "Well, this is a game." And they're like, "I'll go to all this other stuff." And like he goes, "This isn't a game. It's life."
I'm gonna have to watch that clip now on YouTube.
It's kind of funny, actually. The movie's atrocious, though. Like, it's Shark Boy and Lava.
Spy Kids, come on. Those movies were always atrocious.
Actually, the first two are actually not bad.
I'm sorry, when they came out when we were younger, I just, like, looked... I know, I was a kid, but I still looked at them like, that's stupid.
I actually liked them, and I can actually watch 1 and 2. Like, 2 is kind of more ridiculous than the first one. But the first one actually is kind of something that I can actually watch and not hate my life. But 3, oh god, don't watch that. That's like Shark Boy and Lava Girl bad.
So what are our topics today, Jacob?
Well, our topics are poop, diarrhea, drugs, sex, and STDs.
Well, this is a very dark episode then.
It's life!
We're going to crush every preteen's dreams.
This isn't a game! But no, I believe we are going to be talking about some of the stuff that went on at GameCon, and I know it's a little bit late, but hey, what can you do? We might dwell into Until Dawn a little bit. I know that wasn't GameCon, but it's coming up, and maybe some Mafia 3 and Crackdown 3 and a lot of 3s.
Yeah, 3-man sequels. Gotta love those sequels.
Actually, it's a trilogy. Sequel is 2.
Sequel after sequel after sequel.
It's the sequel. Oh!
Or you can pull off a Borderlands and call it the pre-sequel.
The pre-mequel.
the
Borderlands different. Pre-mequel. Oh.
So anyway, about let's go with Until Dawn. Let's start off with that. Let's start off with horror, because you already made this podcast horrendous already.
Hey,
with that poop out of your mouth.
Podcast amazing. It's life. What would you like to talk about exactly, or do we want to talk about how the gameplay mechanics?
Yeah, like I want to I don't know. Like anything about Until Dawn, other than what you've told me. So I want to learn a little bit more about it, because to me, it just looks like one of those shitty horror teen movies that come out in the summertime, right before fall.
Okay, you've got the right idea that it is going to be a shitty, like, it looks like it's going to be like a shitty, like, horror summer movie or whatever, but that's exactly what they're going for. They're going for that cliched cabin in the woods, teens, premarital sex, drugs, and stuff like that. But pretty much, okay, like I've got Wikipedia up here right now just so I don't flub this up. And it talks about the gameplay. It's designed to be played multiple times, as players will not be able to understand the full version with only just one playthrough. They say each playthrough will last about 9 hours in length, and the game mechanics will utilize a new in-game system called the Butterfly Effect, where any choice by the player can have major unforeseen consequences later on. And though the game players will make difficult decisions during ethical or moral dilemmas, such as to sacrifice one character in order to save another, as one example. Now, it blurs the line between right and wrong decisions, so you don't really know
So
what
there's a
you
lot of
like. What you
gray.
do is right. Yes, it's all gray, and it pretty much allows for you can have all of the 8 characters live, or you can have every single one of them die, and makes for different paths and scenarios, and seemingly endless multiple endings. That's what it says on Wikipedia anyway. And it'll have a strict autosave system. Now this is awesome. I'm glad that they've done this. A strict autosave system to prevent players from reloading a previous save file to an earlier point if they regret their in-game decision, which means they will have to play the whole game over
That's a load of
if they.
shit. I don't like that
I mean,
feature.
like, well, actually, I think that's cool.
I think that's annoying as shit. Some people don't have the time to replay a 9-hour game, or they don't want to replay a 9-hour game.
I like that though because it brings interest. It's like, oh, what would have happened if I'd done this? Oh, what would have happened? I can't go back because it's supposed to be like real life, where it's like
Oh my
you
gosh,
can't go back in real
I
life.
can just see people with bad anxiety having issues playing this game already.
That's the point, man. It may not be like a scary game. You're more scared about what the choices you're gonna have to make and what consequences are going to happen. I think that's freaking awesome. I've been waiting for a game like this. Now there are games that have had choice implications. Telltale games have done that pretty well, but it's more about dialogue. It's not so much your actions. And I know dialogue can be actions, and they can lead to actions, and where you do actions, like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, even the Back to the Future Telltale games, choices are choices and all that other stuff. But this seems like a game where it's like once you make that choice, you're stuck making that choice. You can't rewind. You can't, and it's like, and if you want a different result, you will have to play it again. And I like that because I've been wanting a game where I like a main story game where I actually have a reason to go back and play it.
So this game, with the way it sounds, is probably going to be a game that can maybe last well over 50 hours.
Yes,
Because
and it's just a story-based game.
Depending on how many multiple endings there are through the combination of choices you make, could well go over 50 because of a 9-hour story.
Yeah, and there's 8 main characters. All can live, all can die, and different ones can live and different ones can die. So I mean, it's like not only do you have possibilities of like with 8 or like maybe one person dies or 2 people die or 3 people or 4 people. It depends on who dies too. Like that's awesome.
This game sounds like it was a pain in the butt to develop.
That's why they delayed it. It was originally supposed to come scheduled to be released on PS3 and feature PlayStation Move support, but in August of 2014, it was reintroduced as a PlayStation 4 exclusive to be released this year. That's cool. That's awesome.
I'm glad they got rid of the move controls, though, because I always thought that was a failed project.
Yes.
I mean,
it was a failed project when the Wii came out, so I mean, what do you know?
But it sounds cool. It does. I don't know if I'm really going to want to spend $60 on a game where it forces me to replay it, because I get game fatigue. Especially when games do that, it's like, I don't want to spend another 5 hours trying to get to the same exact spot to do one thing to change everything. Right. That kind of bothers me, to be honest with you, because I like being able to save a previous save separately and going back to that, because it saves me time. There's other things in the day I would like to do.
Well, I understand that, but I also think maybe, as gamers, we're maybe just a little too
Spoiled?
Stupid wall. Yeah, a little bit spoiled with oh, I messed up. Oh, I'm just gonna go back and maybe redo this. No, there's technically no right or wrong in this game. It's just all how about you play it, and if you don't like that result, you'll have to go back and play it again. But it's all part of the experience. True. That actually makes me excited because I like that. I like a game that'll be brutally unrelenting with me, except for Bloodborne. I don't like how brutal that game is.
We still need to beat that together.
I know. I've been delaying.
Yeah, you have.
I've been working a lot.
It's like, I don't want to play it. I'm like, dude, I'm right here. Right here to help.
I've been playing other
And they
games,
make
man.
it easier with the password setting, too. Like, oh, let's just set up a password. Jacob sucks.
I can't help it that those aren't my type of games. I do like Bloodborne, but it's not my type of game that I like to play normally.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait for the expansion.
Eh.
You're like, I haven't beat the base game.
It's like, how can any normal person beat these games?
I did.
You're not normal.
Okay, fine. Be a
You
jerk.
know life did.
Be a jerk.
You know life did.
You don't have to be so mean.
You beat it in like a week.
No, I didn't. It took me it's straight 2 weeks to beat it.
Okay, it took you 2 weeks to beat it.
But Jacob, I mean,
it took me 2 weeks to beat Witcher.
Yeah, it's such a great... And that game's even bigger, so don't give me grief.
But I didn't 100% it. I don't know if you can 100% that game.
You probably can, but who the hell wants to do that?
I need to pick up that game again. I haven't played it in a little while.
Yeah, I've heard they've updated it again.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of updates, so...
But, speaking of The Witcher, since you brought it up, I finally figured out why I hate The Witcher.
What is it?
Okay, the number one reason, first, is it's too political of a game for me.
Really? You don't like the political of it?
I do not like how political of a game it is. There's too many politics and too much bullshit to deal with that it makes it's like a burden on me, and I just get annoyed with it. I'm like, ugh. It makes me sigh way too much because it's just so annoying with all of its shit. And that's my number one problem. My second problem is I don't know if they fixed it since launch, but it's janky. The controls are janky. Like, the movement controls are shitty, in my opinion. Like, they're janky. They're not very precise or clean for a controller. And I think they updated the inventory system. I'm not sure, but like when it first came out, the inventory system for console was garbage.
How so? I'm confused.
The way that inventory system on you worked was you had a bunch of squares and you had to, and it was a small little box too, so it was hard to read. And that was
okay, I got you.
Like you had to manually select each item by itself and then move it like 5 or 6 boxes to organize your inventory or to even get through. Like with the mouse and keyboard, that's simple because the mouse it's much faster. With the controller, you're putting inputs with a left stick and then a right stick, and it's too tedious of an inventory system for that type of game.
Uh-huh.
And that's why those are just the reasons why I disliked The Witcher.
Oh.
I just had too many complaints about it that just made me not like it. So I am not a fan of how that game plays.
That's unfortunate, because I think it is one of the best games, if not the best game so far this year. It's between that or Batman this year, for me anyway.
Just wait, we got more. We got a lot more coming.
I know.
I know, it's
I think it's
August.
or Mad Max will be a dark horse.
Oh, it's August and we still have a lot coming in the next few months.
Well, hold on a second. Let me look at the calendar here. I don't have it marked. But in 2 weeks until Dawn comes out, and then the following week will be Mad Max. And there's probably some other games coming out and stuff, and then
you got Gears also coming out this month, and then you have like you said, Mad Max. You have the stupid Destiny Taken King expansion coming out in September. You have Tony Hawk's.
Did they replaced the voice?
Yeah,
that bot.
They replaced Peter Dinklage's voice with Nolan North's. All of the dialogue is going to be completely replaced with Nolan North voicing it.
I think
that's great. I think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I feel like we've been gypped. We were waiting for like all this stuff, and it's like all this stuff that they're talking about. It's like, oh, they're gonna make it last for 10 years. Why can't you just have it make last for 10 years all right off the bat?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Destiny. It's an MMO. That's what it is. But it's
I
an
know.
overpriced MMO. Like a $40 expansion or whatever it is. Like seriously. And people keep buying it because they're stupid enough to keep buying it.
Right.
So that, gosh, I'm done with Bungie unless they prove me otherwise. Because the only reason why I jumped on the Destiny bandwagon was because I was believing in Bungie because I loved the Halo series, and now
Yeah.
it's complete and utter horse shit, and I can't back them anymore. I can't be behind what they are anymore.
Yep.
They have. I feel betrayed, and I feel dumb, which I should.
The only thing I can even be slightly happy about with Destiny is the fact that it got me my PS4.
Yeah, and a pretty one at that, an all white one.
Yeah, it's pretty. Don't get me wrong. It just reminds me about Destiny and what a
Well,
big
hey, at
letdown it
least you
was.
didn't get the new special edition Destiny one that's coming out in September.
That one's stupid.
It's all white with the map of Destiny on it.
Why would I want that? Ugh.
Dude, people are gonna buy it. They are. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
good.
I'm gonna get that. It's better than the one I have.
Good. Destiny
It's a game. It's life.
Okay, off topic. Let's get back on. So, the next thing I wanted to discuss is it's not even a game that's coming out this year. They're talking like it may possibly come out next year, but it's Crackdown 3. And the only reason why I want to discuss this is because it is a Microsoft exclusive, and we have not been able to play Crackdown in years, I think, because let's just face it. Suppose I never played the second one, Crackdown 2, but I heard from people that it sucked and it was bad, and according to you from the gaming websites, they gave it reviews of like okay-ish, like 7s. So it was like average, like subpar, whatever. But Crackdown 1 I thought was really good and fun. I mean, you play as a super cop running around a city trying to take out these criminal organizations like mafias, like, you know, like an Asian one and all that, in 3 different regions of a giant city. And I just thought that was awesome because you were working towards this goal of completely wiping out all organized crime in this giant city. And you could also play online co-op with a friend, if I remember correctly, and that was just a blast because it's like, oh, let's do this together and let's do that. And it was just insane, running super fast and jumping high in the air and shooting guns and destroying regular humans because I'm a super being. But Crackdown 3, I wanted to discuss it because apparently Crackdown 3, the multiplayer part of it, is going to have 100% destructible environments. And that's interesting because the Crackdown games have never had, like, you know, super destructible environments. And what I've read is, like, they're not really going to do it with single player because they say, one, it's probably not possible because they're using the cloud feature for that. And two, it would kind of go against what Crackdown is. You're trying to bring peace to a city, not destroy it. So I'm like, well then, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice that they can have 100% destructible environments because I think that's awesome. Like, I'm sure some, like, people who played Bad Company 2 will like that feature. But the question is, like, if you're going to have 100% destructible environments in multiplayer, like, why? Like, what are you going to be doing in multiplayer to be destroying environments? Like, are you know what I mean? Like, are you fighting each other? What?
Right.
But the thing is, what sucks is that they can't do 100% destructible environments without the cloud.
Right.
Like, I know it probably is like a really huge step and a lot of processing power for something to do that, but it just sucks that it can't do it without it.
Right. It's like the only games I can even remember having any close to kind of destructible environment that seemed real was like Bad Company or Bad Company 2, which I love those games. The Battlefield games, you know?
Yeah, totally. Excuse
And,
me. Like,
I
I
don't know.
actually never played Bad Company 2, but I heard that Bad Company 2 had the best destruction out of all of the Battlefield games.
Dude, that game was so hard.
It kind
I
of
was
makes me
stuck.
upset that
I
I
can't.
missed out on it because I didn't get into Battlefield until Battlefield 3. And like,
Those were the only Battlefields I ever played because it looked
it
funny.
it makes me upset because I never owned Bad Company 2 and never got to play it online.
And Bad Company is really good too. Like the story's real fun. I never played those games online. Like this is before I was really into online gaming. But I mean, this like when I first got Bad Company, I got it for my birthday, and because it was teen and it was getting like it looked really funny and all this other stuff and um I got it and I like no lifed it, man. And I couldn't believe that the buildings were destructible the way they were. I would literally just since there was like ammo crates everywhere, like you pretty much have unlimited ammo in that area. I would blow everything up to where it would just be support beams. And I'm like, man, it's too bad the support beams can't be blown down.
Oh,
But I was like,
that's
no, that's
awesome.
probably be too much. But for 2008, that was freaking Hoss.
Well, also you got to remember that graphically those games weren't as pretty to look at, but the sheer fact that you could destroy so much is what was so awesome about it. Like
Dude,
I
for the time when
understand,
they came out,
like I
for the time when
understand
they came
in this day and age that everybody wants super pretty graphics because they assume that because like we have such powerful hardware now. I get that, but like I want these bigger developers to take a risk with downgrading the graphics to make the experience better, not to make it look prettier or make it feel like you're there. You can feel like you can be immersed in a game without super awesome graphics. You know what I mean?
uh,
Like if they would take some of that new power that they have with the better hardware and execute it better with better experiences, not better visuals, better experiences, I feel like we could get even better games.
right. It's like you say those games weren't as pretty to look at graphically, but for their time, I mean, not compared to now, but like for their time when they came out, those games were so pretty, and they had like a grainy like substance to them. And I really like a grainy thing in like war. Like that's why I think Saving Private Ryan and like movies like Saving Private Ryan and Fury are like really great war movies because they got like this graininess to them the way they filmed it, and I think that really fits with like war, just because
Mm-hmm.
it's dirty. It's not supposed to be
It's
polished and
it's
pristine.
gritty, it's ugly, it's gray.
Yeah, and it can still be pretty to look at, and that's how I thought of it. And I thought that graphically, those games were really awesome, especially for their time. Um, but I understand it probably is hard to be able to do the really top notch impressive graphics and do the completely destructible environments. If they can somehow do, it's one thing to say they can do completely destructible environments, but one thing that I would actually kind of like to see is if at least if you're going through the main story, like I know you said they probably won't be able to do the main story, but one thing I think that would be kind of cool is like if you completely destroy a building, like say in the beginning of the game, and you come back to that area later on in the game, like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours after you've not been playing consistently, and it's still gone, that would be impressive to me. Like exactly the way you left it. Like if it somehow had a way of completely remembering every single bullet hole that you were able that you shot into, or like the way it fell down or something. If it
Now
could stay
see,
like that,
what you're
I think that
describing
would be. Go ahead.
what you're describing, yes, would be sweet, but that's a persistent world.
Right.
That's a world that's always on, and to do that, usually, what developers do is they make it an always online game. That way.
Oh.
Yeah, those, like, for example, PlanetSide 2 is a persistent world because there's always something going on. It's never ending, but that game's always online because it's just a multiplayer game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel
Uh-huh.
like for developers to even do that, they would have to make it always online. But I agree with you. It would be cool if, like, you were playing a game, and like you said, you destroyed the building, and 8, 9 hours later, or hell, even just like 3 hours later, it was still destroyed. But then, like the next day when you got on, which like say 12, 24 hours later, it was rebuilt. So then, like another player could come by and destroy it.
Right.
But in a
I
single
don't know.
player experience, that would be cool if the game would save it, like you said, in the memory, and then you went back to it the next day and it was still gone. It didn't respawn or anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I don't know how that would be done. I don't know if they would, if, like, the code for that building, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I don't understand how they do those things.
I don't either. I
But
guess it's not why I'm a. Guess it's not why I'm a developer or creator. You know, whatever.
I feel like if we became game developers though, we would not play our games. I don't want to fucking play that. I coded that or something. You know what I mean?
I hated that part. That
Like,
part was a bitch to code.
Yeah, I know. Or like, I had such a problem with this, or this bug annoyed me, or
Yes.
or even
much.
testing the game. I've played this map so many times. Like, I don't, cause see, like, I know how some people with their jobs, they do a certain job, but then when they go home, they don't do that thing at their home because they're sick of it, because they do that for a living.
Oh yeah, which is totally understandable, and some people just live it. You know, they can't get enough of it,
Yeah.
which is fine too. You know, that's how I kind of am sometimes with things.
It's I don't know, like, I feel like it would be fun making a game, but I would always be afraid about not playing it afterwards.
Right.
You know? Oh, I made it. Okay, I'm done. Next.
And I'm done.
Next. Oh, geez.
What we got next?
Oh, speaking of war, did you hear that Halo Wars 2 got announced?
No, but does it show how much I care?
Well, did you ever play Halo Wars on the Xbox 360?
Yes.
Did you like it?
No.
Oh. See, I heard people actually liked it, and they thought it was fun.
They do, but it's not my type of game.
Oh, yeah. Like, I never played it, and the only type of game like that I normally play is StarCraft, but I haven't played StarCraft in years. But I watched my cousin play it, and it looked fun. It looked really good, especially, and it worked in that, even though it's Halo, that type of game still works in the Halo universe, and I thought that was really interesting. So I'm excited for people who liked Halo Wars that they're getting a sequel. I think that's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
yes,
cool.
it's not a new franchise or something, or exclusive from Microsoft because it's Halo again, just a side Halo game. But still, it's exciting because it's a different type. It's not a first-person shooter. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's different, but I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
And you didn't just hear that music a second ago, did you?
What music?
Okay, good. There was my computer like an ad popped up or something like that.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, it was like, boo, 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 boo. I'm like, oh no!
Shut up, ad. Oh, a game that you might be interested in since you like story-driven games so much. Quantum Break is coming out in April of next year.
What's that?
You don't know what Quantum Break is?
What is Quantum Break?
Quantum Break is a Microsoft exclusive coming from, I think, the developers of Alan Wake. Which is, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's a story-driven third-person action game, I think. I haven't read up a lot on it, but I just know that it's going to be like it's a big AAA game that's only exclusive to the Xbox One or Microsoft.
No.
Well, I don't know if it's coming out on PC or not, but I do know that it's exclusive to Microsoft. But and it's going to have a ton of TV stars in it, like actual actors in the game. And the game deals with I think like some sort of time distorting, time traveling aspect that the character is able to do or something. I mean, look it up. It looks like a game you would play.
I am. I'm trying. Like I'm like reading things on Wikipedia
because
I mean, it looks interesting, but
you watch like trailers for it because that's where I think it really shines. Because it's like, okay, think of it like it's like you like the Uncharted series and you like The Last of Us and those story-driven games, those movie-like games. When I see the trailers and stuff for this, that's what it looks like, but on an Xbox. And I think that you should check it out and watch the trailers because, I mean, it does. It looks pretty neat and cool. I mean, it looks like it could be a big thing. It really does. And I think it's funny that it's releasing in April because I think they're going to try to use it as an Uncharted 4 competitor.
Yeah.
Because they're
Sounds about it.
if because Uncharted 4 comes out, I think, next year in April as well? I know it comes out early next year.
Yeah, I think April's about right.
So I think it's just funny. I think they're seriously they're gearing up for it to be a competitor to Uncharted 4 because it is, like, from what I understand, a very story-driven game, like a movie like those. Like, it's that type of game. And there's there's a good audience for those type of games, and so you got the returning series that everybody knows that they like or don't, and then you got this new series which could be completely tempting and enticing to new people to play.
Yeah.
It's like a new TV show compared to like an existing TV show. You know?
I'm actually watching a trailer for it right now. I don't know how I feel yet, but whatever. I'll watch it later.
Yeah. Watch that. Definitely watch all of the videos out for it later, because when I saw some of the stuff for that, I'm like, huh. Like, I mean, I know I'm not huge into the story-driven games. Like I enjoy The Last of Us. I enjoyed it a lot. But I mean, I'm not like I play mainly other games than those. So I don't know if I would get it at launch, but like I feel like it would be a game I could pick up later if I wanted something different, you know?
Yeah.
Because I do find it interesting. So I just think they're going to be using it and pushing it as an Uncharted competitor.
Yeah, it probably is.
Which is smart because Xbox needs a game like that. You know what I mean? Like, they need a developer to continuously make games like I think they do, to make games like that to compete with Sony, because Sony's got Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog keeps making the story-driven games.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
And
I mean, back with like 360 and PlayStation 3, it was like Xbox always seemed to win with the multi-platform games, and like PlayStation, like they'd have a really good like exclusive, but more people had 360s, so like their sales were probably good, but they weren't like amazing, you know?
Yeah. So, well, did you ever play Alan Wake?
Yeah, actually, I never owned it, but I did get to play it.
I never played it, but I heard it was good.
It was interesting. It was like, it's pretty much just you're a writer and you have amnesia, and like you're in this town, and like you're like, it's almost like a ghost town, and you try to find like pages of your story that you write or whatever, and when it's nighttime, like daylight is your friend, you have a flashlight, like there's like these spirit demon things coming after you, and like your battery power is like the more, like the brighter you shine on them, like the more like the weaker they get, and they'll eventually die and stuff like that. But it's an interesting game.
I thought you were trying to solve murders though in it. We need someone on the show right now who knows more about Alan Wake.
Hold on. I'm gonna look it up just to make sure. I mean, like, I felt like there are some murders that deal with it, but if I remember correctly,
I thought you were trying to find
Alan
a
Wake,
serial killer. Yeah, it was a serial killer, and it was like the origami killer or something like that. Like, every person...
That's Heavy Rain.
Oh, that's Heavy Rain, my bad. I'm getting confused. See, I'm not... Hey. I haven't played those games, alright?
I haven't played Heavy Rain either, but I know what the origami killer is.
I forgot, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh!
Alan Wake took over 5 years to create.
Did it really? Wow. That's intense.
Here's the synopsis. He's a, where'd he go? No, where'd it go?
Man, you are sucking on Wikipedia today.
You're right, I am. He's pretty much a psychological thriller author, but he's been suffering a 2-year stretch of writer's block. Him and his wife, they travel to this Washington State mountain town for called Bright Falls for a little vacation, and he has a nightmare, and he pretty much uh, he pretty much unleashes something in this cabin, and surprise, and he pretty much his wife ends up being disappeared, and he has like amnesia almost, and he, like you have to find like pictures or not pictures, pages of his books and stuff like that, and
Oh boy, I love reading. Not.
and it actually it gives you a backstory because it's got him reading it, and it's actually kind of cool. Like it's a cool game, very unique.
Hmm.
And it's surprising. My buddy he isn't big on some of those kind of games, but he ended up I think it came with his Xbox or something, and he ended up buying it, and he actually really liked it.
That's sweet.
And doesn't play stuff like doesn't play stuff like that. He's a hardcore Christian. Like I'm a Christian and everything, but I mean, me, I'm a little bit more lenient with that kind of stuff. But like, I was surprising that he played the game and he actually liked it a lot.
Well, hey man, some games just do that for you.
They do, they do.
Dude, I'm telling you what, like, there hasn't been, I know it's summer and it's the summer drought of gaming, but there hasn't been jack shit this summer.
There hasn't. I mean, except for Batman. That's literally all that's came out, really.
Yeah, like, I'm at the point, like, right now, I haven't really been playing my PS4 because, like, I don't feel like playing any of the games I own because, I've played so much of them and I'm not in the mood to play them. Like, I want something new.
Right.
I want something
That's
new
why
to
I've been
play.
playing Limbo. I've been playing Limbo. I've been playing Life is Strange. I've been trying to play Ethan Carter. What else have I been playing?
I've been playing Terraria on my Vita.
Yeah, like after this podcast, I'm gonna try and finish. I'm gonna try and do episode 5 of Game of Thrones
See, like,
because there's like one more episode of that one left. So I mean, it's with the lack of major games coming out, I've been playing not as big games, and I'm actually enjoying myself. And
well,
I'm
that's a good thing.
glad I'm glad you are actually interested in Life is Strange.
Yeah, like, I'm waiting until, like, all of it comes out so I can just buy it all at once. Because now that I've watched you play that, like, I'm highly interested in Life is Strange. Because the entire, like, choices you make with the people and all that, it's just so cool and neat. And I like how the story's going. And it's creepy, it's messed up, it's twisted. And it's just, and I actually kind of like the graphics. Like, I like the style they went with.
Yeah, like I'm kind of upset that you had to watch episode 4 like right at the end, and like you got spoils and everything. But I mean, you don't necessarily care about spoils a lot of times, so it's more
No.
about sometimes it's not about spoils, sometimes it's about the experience.
Well, see, me as a person, I actually hate surprises. So, spoilers don't necessarily bother me because it doesn't really matter to me.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm strange. Like, you could tell me the entire plot of a movie that just came out that I would like to see, but I don't care if you tell me because, like, when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'll probably go see it and be like, oh, okay, now it makes all sense. Because then, since I have the synopsis, I can put all the pieces together when I watch it.
Right.
Like, I for myself can put the pieces together and, and then interpret the movie myself.
Right. Well, it's like you know what the person who reviewed episode 4 for Life is Strange, you know what they gave him? He gave it like a 6.
What? Why?
Yeah. I don't know.
What? Did it give him a 6 because it was too predictable?
No, he said something about how what you do in this episode almost kind of negates what the character was, but I thought the exact opposite. I thought it was pretty much it's showing her that what she's going through has changed her, and she might be more brazen, she might be more outspoken,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what she does is determined on what you choose to do.
Yeah, and
So if
I
your
would agree
character
with
isn't
you, too,
coming out the
because
way you want it to be, it's like that's your fault.
well, I agree with you. Like, you told me starting out the girl that you play as, I don't know her name. What's her name?
Max.
Max. Okay, the girl you play as,
Max.
Max, and Life is Strange, you've told me starting out she's this shy, socially awkward girl who
Yeah.
doesn't really know how to interact with others, and as you go throughout the episodes, she does, right? Like she begins to learn how.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's because of her rewind.
Yeah, and then also with her special power, she can rewind time. It gives her, better. What would you say? Like, I don't want to say. I don't want to say more time, but
it pretty much allows her, like, if she said something that she probably shouldn't have said, she can rewind and say something else. Or if she finds out something about it, she can use that and rewind it and actually just bring it up in conversation. It's like, oh wow, this person actually kind of cares about me and stuff like that. And that's what I try to do with everybody. Like, I try to be friends with absolutely everybody because I don't know how this game's gonna end, and I figure the more allies you have, the better. You know.
yeah. But I mean, and I feel like maybe that's why the person gave it a 6 is because they're thinking I'm Max instead of realizing that they're playing Max. You know what I mean? Because in most video games, they give you a character with no name, no voice, no nothing. It's you're the character. And maybe that's the type of person who's playing is thinking I'm Max, but really no, you're watching Max.
But yeah, but no, like, man, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I was like, a 6, really? Like, really?
They were drinking the haterade, okay?
Pretty much. It's IGN. They didn't pay us enough money.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm super interested in Life is Strange now because of, like, the narrative in it and the graphics and just, like, it's just the choices and I want to know what's going on in this town and it's just, it's cool. It's twisted.
It's fun.
And it's funny because I had never had any interest in that game whatsoever, even when I heard about it. But then when I saw it at your place, I was like, I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah, I know. You were like standing in front of the TV almost, and I was like, this guy, he's getting really into it. I can tell.
Yeah, like I was standing up, I was thinking about leaving, go back home after our live stream, and then you started playing, and I'm thinking like 5-10 minutes of you playing. I'm like, I'm gonna sit down, and I sat down and you finished.
Like, where's that chair?
Episode.
Where's that chair at?
Yeah, I was like, I want to see what happens next. I don't want to leave yet. But yeah, I mean, it's just yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm interested in it, and I am hoping like a complete edition or whatever comes out for it, because then I will definitely have to pick it up.
Yes. Yes, you will. Oh man, we're talking about stuff that we didn't even think about talking about.
I know. I got like 6 topics on this piece of paper. We're good.
Woo!
Oh yeah, and for
It's
all
the life.
it's not the life.
What?
Not the life.
Oh.
That poop out of your mouth.
Poop out of your mouth. Oh god.
I was going to say that technically this is our 11th episode, but then you could call it 10 and a half because this is our 10th audio episode. But we're all going to call it the 11th episode just to confuse the shit out of you guys.
Yeah.
Because we can't count like Microsoft.
Yeah.
Windows 8, Windows 10. What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
What? But
10.
what? But 9?
10.
9?
10. No.
9 doesn't exist. Microsoft
10.
has completely erased it.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. I think that's all I got, though.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got too, really.
So
Surprised we talked as much as we did, to be
I
honest.
know, me too. See, this is good. Maybe we should just go in blind more often.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, guys, we went in blind. Blinded by the light.
I can see, I'll go blind. I can see, I'll go blind.
Okay, we just brought corn lyrics into this podcast.
I'll go blind.
So you can find us on Twitter at GamerBullshit with the I's and underscore. Everyone should know that by, the 11th episode, but just for new listeners. We're
Thank
also
you,
on
our listener.
iTunes.
Thank you. God bless you.
We're on iTunes. We're on Shout Engine, and we're on Twitch, and we're on YouTube. And the only reason why we're on Twitch is
It's all a work in progress.
do what?
It's all a work in progress.
It is all a work in progress. YouTube is just our podcast, but it's just another outlet for people who.
If we have live streams, we're going to try and put them on there. For some reason, it hasn't put them on there yet, so we're going to have to work on that.
I need to do that. See, the thing is, it exports your archive stuff, so I think it has to like build up so much video content, and then it'll export it.
Oh.
But I'm going to go in and see if I can manually export the entire thing to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I still haven't done that.
Yeah. Shame. And you got on me about not uploading the Doomed podcast on YouTube.
Wait! Hey! I got nothing.
At least I was within a week. Yours has almost been 2 weeks. Okay, maybe not 2 weeks. It's been a little over a week.
No, it's only been a week.
It feels like 2.
I know. That was the last podcast, Jacob.
Oh.
Gosh!
Oh.
And
Yeah, find us on YouTube, find us on Twitch, find us on
Twitter.
any of the stuff we just said. And leave comments, leave feedback. We want to hear from you all. Sound Engine, please, we know people listen. We don't care what you say. We don't care if you sound like poop. We just want to hear feedback.
Yes, and if we don't, well, we're gonna keep throwing poop.
Well, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going, but it'll be really depressing because we want to interact with y'all. With y'all. My
Y'all.
Kentucky accent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give me
yeah.
some
Okay.
biscuits
I gave
and
our location
gravy.
away. We're from Kentucky.
I like that gravy. Would y'all
I don't like
some
gravy.
gravy with your biscuits?
I don't.
Oh, and with that, I am Austin, and I am done.
And I'm Jacob, and I